Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to take a look here at BAT, which is Basic Attention Token. And if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor, just been trading for over 15 years, and my goal is to help you become more of an effective trader. I have a trading community designed for that purpose specifically as well. So check that out in your own time as a trading community signal group. I send out signals for every single trade that I take, and I share best practice, and everyone's learning and growing together. Awesome experience. Can't be happier enough. In fact, coins like these are ones that I make based on their requests. So thank you so much to my community members for requesting that I cover this. Let's go ahead and take a look here at Bitcoin. Now, just a quick little preface. I always look at Bitcoin first if you're new to the channel, just because you have to kind of understand what's going on with Bitcoin in order to understand what's going on in the market. There's a really strong correlation. That being said, we've got 58 to 60,000 as a support channel here. For Bitcoin, we've also got 66 to 65,000 as a resistance channel. So we're kind of hanging out right in the middle, lower quadrant of that essentially. And bottom line is that we have a lot of volume in two ranges, right around 55,000, but also 61,000. So where the price right now is at, it's kind of staying above based on the fact that it's got a tremendous amount of volume right there that's working as a support level, and people just keep adding to their position right now. So I feel like that's a pretty good sign. Furthermore, note, keep this as well, is that we have the simple moving average, the 50-day simple moving average is working as a support level right now. So likely the price should continue to bounce off and continue to progress upwards from here. We also have higher highs and higher lows, if you can see that. So good stuff here, all good stuff for Bitcoin. We should see a push to the upside this weekend. Maybe not a significant push, but enough to take profits if you are currently in the signal that I sent out. But more importantly, I think 64,000 is likely by Monday. Now, that being said, let's take a look here at basic attention token. So this is a one-day chart, right? Obviously, it's pumping pretty hard today. What do we got? So approximately 75% on the day from bottom to top. We're up over 70 on the RSI. That's very, very standard for a coin like this. I do not mind seeing that just based on the last 3 days of momentum. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the 4-hour charts. Moving averages are less relevant, of course. We've got some pretty significant increase here. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the Fibonacci and see if we have any support and resistance channels. We do see resistance right now potentially at about 124. And we've also got a support in a couple of places. Why don't we just go ahead and mark all three here. So we got $1.43, and then just below that, the halfway point. It's essentially right around $1.08 if we're to round up. And big picture here too, I may as well throw this out there as well. If we were to have a better case scenario, just say the price were to continue to progress on this trajectory here, we get a state of consolidation with a nice leg up. We're looking at roughly 2 to 4 weeks from now, where the price action should be somewhere in the range of about 210 as a better case scenario. So 2 to 4 weeks, 210 at the, I would say, year end or perhaps early next year, once the altcoin season is in full effect, it should likely be a lot higher than that. Again, we'll look at some other stuff as well here, but just note that's roughly what we're looking at here for the moment while we're on that subject. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 1-hour chart and kind of see what's going on here as well with the Ichimoku cloud. Obviously, we're well above that. That's no surprise, but that's pretty standard for coins in this scenario. But for lack of better terms, what's really cool about this, and I like where the price is kind of leveling out, right at the support level here at $1.08, we've got the cloud kind of hovering. In other words, if the price were to kind of consolidate, go sideways, maybe lose that primary support at $1.15, the cloud should work as a support level right here and drive the price up. That's a great thing about the cloud. It kind of holds as a support level in bullish trends, and this is obviously the start of a pretty strong bullish momentum. So I forgot to look at the big picture here where the all-time highs are at. Let's go ahead and mark that as well. Something that's super relevant. Let's see here. So we're looking at 154 for the one-day close high. All right. Then we've also got somewhere in the range, highest point of about $1.65. So keep this in mind. Price were to continue to progress upwards, it might have a little bit of trouble when it gets to about 154, upwards of about 165. So what I commonly do myself, if I were to say to open a position and send out a signal to my community members, I would essentially have a profit target just below the first major resistance level, just say like $1.52. So say we took entry right now, I'd shoot for $1.52. We'd be up about 28% for our target number one, profit target one. Sorry, speaking is hard today. And then, of course, profit target 2 would be just above the all-time high. And there's a handful of other little scenarios you can do, but generally speaking, profit targets should always be just below a major resistance level, and that would be one of my first primary targets if I were to do so. So just know big picture, 155 to 165 is a resistance channel. Once it enters that range, it should and could go sideways and then break to the upside once it hits that all-time high. Looking back at the 1 hour chart, let's note this as well, because this is important to understand. We're probably on the exhausted side here for TD sequential. So keep this in mind. When we have a 9 on TD sequential, it's supposed to consolidate or retrace. All right, now take a look at this here first. Let's go backwards just a little bit so you can see what this looks like here. Because when it comes to, exhaustion, right? Say you have 9 hours of bullish momentum, the price needs to calm down and retrace or consolidate before it legs up again. Otherwise, it'll be subject to a significant retracement later, right? So we see here, for example, we got this guy, the 9. It consolidated for maybe 2 to 4 hours, which wasn't bad, but it legged up again and didn't get a chance to fully reset. So instead, it came all the way back down here, right? So from top to bottom, we're looking at about 14% retracement. Yeah. That's not terrible, don't get me wrong, right? That's not bad considering how high it went up, right? But if we look at this here and look how long and far this is, we're at a 9 right here. The price literally should have stopped at about $1.05, but instead it kept pushing all the way up to $1.36. So that's why it came down right here, and now it's trying to kind of hang out and hover around the center point here. So that's why these support levels are very important. So just note though that with what it did previously, right? It did the same thing, ramped up, kind of came down, up, and legged down again. So this could follow the same pattern, right? It could come up, come down, and it could leg down as well. I think that's a very strong likelihood, so just be prepared for that. What I recommend doing too is taking profits while you still can. I'm a huge proponent for taking profits and not just being a stubborn diamond hand holder. Yes, that works occasionally on Shiba Inu or Elon or Dogecoin in the past, but this is trading. It's not gambling, right? Unless you want to gamble, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to be a good trader, you take profits when you can. And hypothetically, right now, I don't foresee the price going up much further at this specific time because it's going to come crashing back down if it does, right? Do you really want this coin to hit $3 tomorrow and then it sells off to $1.50 the day after? No, we want to slowly progress and continue to get to that point eventually because it's healthy, right? We want a healthy currency. We don't need these spikes. They don't do anyone any good unless you set a profit target, right? That's why I try to kind of reiterate that to my community members. It's really important to set 3 profit targets before you jump into a trade. Okay. Also, trailing stop loss, extremely important. You can usually only facilitate that through trading bots. That's why I have Cornix through my Telegram community, but 3 commas is a really good alternative to that if you're kind of a PC user or just in general, you want to have more flexibility with your trading. So again, recommend those things, of course. Can't recommend that enough. So I would just say my prediction here in the near future, next week or two, I would say the price is definitely going to retrace, kind of consolidate and go sideways. That's more so 24 to 48 hour period, right? This weekend, we need some sideways action. If this support level holds at $1.07, $1.08 range, then I would consider adding to your position and then be ready for the next leg up to hit that all-time high, or at least that zone, which was between what, let's get those numbers for you one more time. We're looking at right around $1.55 to $1.65, right? So that's roughly the range. Again, that's not terrible, right? Say you add to your position at $1.08 and you come up to the all-time high and you get stopped out, that's a 42% profit. It's pretty good, right? You got to be happy with small gains, and that's not even small by any means. I'm happy with a 1 to 2% gain with Bitcoin when I day trade, right? Granted, I leverage and use a large amount of capital, so I'm content with that. But you have to be happy with the smaller stuff because that's the only way to grow your portfolio, right? Again, these are all just things you need to learn and grow over time, right? If you're new to trading, that's all well and good, but take it from me. You want to set a good standard at first and make sure that you kind of honor a code that you create yourself. I mean, last 15 years of trading myself, I was not extremely good in my first few years of trading. There's no doubt about it. I can definitely admit that. But now I have about an 85% success rate because I stick to a code and I honor that every single time I take a trade, and I learn from my mistakes if I make them. I make a lot less now than before, but trust me, that's what trading is all about, just getting better. So I hope that you find benefit here, obviously, and if you do, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, that's cool too. Maybe consider joining my Patreon community so you can learn and grow with me and the community, and we can all kind of have a great, fun experience. It's really cool. It's a really cool thing. So check that out in your own time. But thanks again for joining me here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one.